Hi, friends. It's Danielle, and this is your channeled horoscopes for the month of June. If possible, listen to this in a space where you won't be distracted, or maybe you're on a beautiful walk or driving down a windy, romantic road through the south of France. And if you're doing that, please do let me know and invite me next time, huh? Okay, so we are moving into June, and one of the big themes that's coming through for the collective for this month is to take it easy, to lean on the lighter side of life, to have fun. Depending on what part of the world you live in, we are starting to prepare for summer. Summer is meant to be a time of sunshine and playfulness, not working so hard. And yet there's still this feeling, this responsibility of getting things done. So it's this balance of, what are my priorities? And that might mean that you have to prioritize yourself, your goals. You might have to disappoint some people, but that's because you're like, I have to get these kind of non-negotiable things done so that I can have fun. And that's just how it's going to go this month. I'm going to do what I need to do, and then I'm going to take myself out of it. I'm going to relax. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to play. I'm going to catch up on a book just because. I'm going to put down all of the ideas and content and business launches and this, that, the other, weight goals, all of it, and just say, you know what? I'll get to that. There's actually some really beautiful opportunities to go back into that mode later this year. But June's just not one of them. So it would be a little bit counterintuitive. If a really brilliant, beautiful idea is coming through and it feels very clean and ready to go, capture it. That's kind of the exception, though, because then that thing that's coming through so clearly becomes a priority, and then that priority becomes the thing that you're non-negotiable with, and then once you're done, you can go have fun. That's kind of how Gemini season works a lot of times. This time in particular, it's really supported by that. Gemini is the gem, the diamond, multifaceted, brilliant, many sides. And you may be experiencing that right now in your life. You may be seeing, okay, I have all of this going on, and yet I also have all of this going on, yet I feel this way and that way, and all things can be true. And I'm carrying it all. However, I have one position to move it forward with. And so how can you look at it from that perspective? In being multidimensional, how can you find that one directional point that you feel comfortable enough and confident enough to go forward with? And then, exhale from there. And a lot of that support's actually coming through with the energy of Cancer. So Cancer has been hosting Jupiter for a year now. It's winding down its journey on June 30th. Jupiter will be moving out of Cancer and into Leo. But before that point, we're going to get some really beautiful blessings from Cancer. One of them being a conjunction with Cancer and Venus. So a conjunction is when two planets are in the same sphere, same degrees of each other. And so Jupiter and Venus coming together in Cancer is really saying, keep it soft, keep it simple, keep it feminine, keep it you, be supported. And in addition to that, stop thinking you have to do everything on your own. Like I said, yeah, you're going to have a couple things that you have to prioritize. Cool. Everyone does that. Great. And then you create breathing room. You do the things that are non-negotiable with the knowing that that's an acceptable way for you to carry forth in this world. And further, everything else, though, can come together. You can be supported. You can be nurtured. You can be nourished. And that's really what this conjunction is saying. It's don't feel like you have to do this all on your own anymore, because you don't. You can have personal goals and things that you move forward with. And what does it look like outside of that? Because if you make your whole life about, I have to do it all on my own, then that's a really big burden that you're going to have to carry. And it's just not necessary. I like all the little rhyming moments coming through, And then after that point, we have a new moon in Cancer that'll be happening on June 15th. Nope, I take that back. It's not a new moon in Cancer. It's a new moon in Gemini. So we have a new moon in Gemini, which is really kind of sealing in this notion of, am I willing to just put everything to the side for a moment, especially if you've been working really hard this year, if you've been showing up, if you've been of service, if you've been supporting others, if you've been really in the nitty-gritty of your business at work, if you've been really enmeshed with your family unit. Maybe this is, you take a little time off. Maybe by yourself. The new moon in Gemini might be a really great time to do that, if we're being honest. Take that week off if you can. And what's nice is that new moon in Gemini leads us up to the summer solstice, which will be on June, let me get the right date for you, June 21st. And that kicks off Cancer season. So what we're really seeing in the bridge of Gemini season to Cancer season, we're seeing it's not really so much a bridge, but it's more so this like really cool ferry, if you will, that we get to take to a really delicious island. It's not like, I have to do this so that I can get there. I have to do that so I can get over that way. It's more about, look at this really cool journey that I'm on. Look at where it's taking me. Look at how I chose to get on this ride. And sometimes when we get on a ride, we can't take everything with us. We just have to get like one ticket, one intention, and just go from there and let that be enough. But the expectations, the pressure, all of that's got to go. Again, we're in Gemini season. You're already the diamond. Stop going back to being the coal. Stop going back down into the caves, although caves are really fun. Don't go back down there and put all this pressure on yourself to go be the diamond. You already are the diamond. You already got there. So shine, be happy. What does it mean to be happy? And if you still have excuses around you're not ready to be happy or you don't deserve to be happy, that's something that needs to be looked at. Seriously. This month is a month of grace. It's a month of giving you permission to play. Because it is going to get a little chewy starting July again. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I don't do fear mongering. But there's going to be some intensity. There's going to be some buttons pushed. The volume's going to be turning up in the outside world, especially in the United States. Again, not fear-mongering. I'm just letting you know, like heads up, there's going to be some moments. And so to help you handle those moments, take some time off, relax, be at ease, not so that your nervous system can get, all spiked with adrenaline again come July, but more so you can actually see like, how about that? I see that happening. You know what? I'm too blessed to be stressed because of the time I took off in June. Thanks, Danielle. You're welcome, friend. So summer solstice happening. Summer solstice always happens at Cancer season. So summer or winter solstice, depending on if you're in the other hemisphere. Cancer is considered a cardinal sign. It kicks things off. So this energy of kicking off a new season, what does that mean for you? What does that represent for you? We will have Mercury retrograde starting June 29th, coinciding with Jupiter moving into Leo. So there is an energy of change up. I don't look at Mercury retrograde as a bad thing. I look at it as repositioning. And so I want you to start thinking about if you can get to a place of joy, which is what Leo governs. Leo governs happiness, joy, sunshine, vitality. So if you can start to embody that now, when Jupiter moves into Leo with the coinciding Mercury retrograde that's happening in Cancer, how do you feel like you're repositioned for it? Jupiter's about higher consciousness, about expanding your perspective. Mercury retrograde is about a redirection in how you viewed things. It's changing one point of view into another. And so this combination can be really yummy if you do the work, which is play. The work is play. The work is, focus on creativity, but not in a creativity that now I need to figure out how to profit from or figure out how to make it go viral. No. Just for the sake of it. Being alive just fucking because. That's what we want to see this month. And that's what the summer solstice is going to really encourage you to do in the second half or more towards the end or the last week, if you will, as we gear up to that retrograde and Jupiter crossing into Leo action. So those are the main points. I don't even want to get too much into this because I don't want you like hemming and hawing about what you need to do, what you shouldn't do. This is really just about give yourself some time off, exhale, do what you need to do, but make time not doing what you need to do, and also play with what that feels like. Notice if anything comes up because of that. Notice if there's a feeling, well, I should be doing something. Why? If you did your non-negotiables, why do you still need to be doing stuff? It'll be there, but guess what? It'll be there in a different format, in a different frequency on the other side for you. It'll be way better to step into. You're going to have more mental bandwidth. You're going to have more energy. Your heart's going to be more open. You might even change your mind about all the things that you were hemming and hawing about. It's interesting, right? So that's June. I love it. I'm practicing it myself. I'm definitely letting myself be in receiving mode. Also not focusing so much on making sure I get content out every single day. It's like I also have permission to slow down, to not feel like there's always something around the corner that I should be presenting or focusing on, and just trusting that I've done so much to put myself in a position where I can open up and be more me, because that's also part of the assignment of this life. The assignment of this life isn't always to figure shit out or produce things. It's also to just be alive and be taken care of and explore and be curious and magnify and beautify. And easier said than done, at least for me. And at the same time, it's a really beautiful thing to witness how it works once you get through that awkward space of not thinking it's possible into finally realizing everything is possible. And that's my hope for you this June. If you'd like to hear your channeled horoscope, they're over on my Substack. It's for my paid subscribers. You'll get an audio recording of it and written recording as well. Love you.